Hello all and welcome to Sunday Q&A. Yes, we got it. Thanks to one of the guys I met from the channel, my mate Richard. He got me a MOT at a bus garage. I've never done MOT before. I've always given the vehicle to the mechanic because I kind of figured that if it fails the MOT you can fix it and get it straight through. But yeah, I had to drive down to Perryvale bus garage where the DVSA were there, and it's drive it on the rolling road and put the brake and do this and do that, and I was kind of frightened, you know, but she's through and we're up and running. So thank you very much for all of your support from Mr. and Arped and Paul Davis and Paul Collins and everybody else. Yeah, we're finally there now, guys. So right, we're running in a 7.5. Let's see what life is like on the exchange in a 7.5. So right, question. So he said, Babushka, he said, have you been watching Bald? I don't know what Bald is, I'll be honest with you. I've got Netflix, I've got Amazon, I've got Sky. Don't know what Bald is. Babushka to me is a song by Kate Bush. So, but it still sounded like grandmother, so that never went through. CJ99 says, he says that you're obviously getting sorted because he said you want to know sort out the YouTube. He says because they're putting UPS ads on the front. In fairness, that's probably, you know, I would say that's not a good thing. I'm not really in a position to compete with UPS at the moment, so, or ever. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Although a couple of guys that did say earlier on, they said they're putting ads in the middle now. That was never the plan. I ticked it. I don't, you know, maybe you've got to suffer one at the beginning, but it drives me mad when you get a load of ads, so I'm going to have to look into that. Sorry guys, don't know what's going on now. Desmond O'Brien, Class 2 next. Mate, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking maybe, because, you know, there's a lot to work out. The next thing I have to try and work out is a haulage exchange. But that costs more money, but we might have to talk to them about that. I don't really need it for 1 7.5 ton, but we're just going one step at a time, as I always say, one problem at a time. Let's get this one up and running first and see how this pans out. And then, is it going to be more 7.5 tons? Are we going to get into bigger ones? I just don't know. Just have to, you know, watch your space in it really. Tim Jones, he says, become a driving instructor, 25 to 30 pound a lesson. Yeah, it's kind of small van money, and it's kind of, you've obviously got, you're not going to get it every hour because you've got to drop one off and go to the next one. Although my mate Danny, who lives down in Devon, he used to be, he was the head of McLaren, you know, like the big fast racing cars. And he was out in, they sent him out to somewhere like China or Tokyo for 2 years away from his family, paid him a fortune. In the end, he came home, he said, I'm playing no more, turned the job in, bought himself a house in Devon, and now he is a driving instructor. Very happy with it. Quiet life, you know, life for the family. You know, it's not all about money at the end of the day, is it, guys? You know. Jason Burke says, will I be getting a CB next? CBs are kind of an outmoded thing, aren't they? However, I may be investing in a train horn because Shirley, who was a truck before, had a train horn. So one of them, or a General Lee, you know, one of them, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Don't know. But you used to hit the button, it would go, da-da. Might be getting one of those. We'll see. Mark Lackland says, he says, get a sticker on the back so we know it's you. Okay, might think about that. You know, see if I can get one off YouTube, get one sorted, who knows. Yorkshire's Daily Grind, he said, you would have gone for Daphne. I thought about Daphne. The thing is, then you just shorten it to Daff. So I'd always call it a truck Daff, and it's a Daff. That's like calling your dog Dog. So unfortunately that one got vetoed on that score, mate. But Martin says, is she better than Shirley, the original? That's my mate Martin, the removals, Luton man and van. If you need removal in the Luton area, give me a call or drop me a line. I know a very good guy. She's different, I would say. I mean, this one's got fantastic cruise control and a flip down bed and a bigger back and curtain sides. But then also, I got Shirley about 15, 20 years ago. You can't expect the same things, you know. So, you know, you can't expect now what you had then. So, but I'm quite enjoying driving around in the truck. It's all right. It's like driving an armchair. Graham Alexander, he said he's seen people offloading 7.5 ton trucks in houses, car parks into small vans. This is the way you really want to do it. This is how my mate Giuseppe does it. But my mate Giuseppe's been in the game 20, 30 years. But what you'll find out is you'll find like 3 40-footers will pull into the yard at 5 o'clock in the morning and they'll be popping them all off with like fork trucks. Then they'll disappear and then small Mercedes Sprinter curtain side vans with tail lifts will appear and the pallets will go on. And it's like if all these people want a pallet moved from, because they don't want it moved from Newcastle to, all of them want it from Newcastle to Luton. They want it from Newcastle to individual addresses. But if you can get the system going, but that takes forever, I assume. I'll just keep trying. See how we get on. Curtain side for dummies. Yes, I am a novice. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing about any of it. I keep saying this, but Harper Valentine says the best instructional video so far. After a small criticism about my video skill set, I mean, in fairness, the guy's a cameraman, so I mean, he does photographs and all that kind of stuff. He's got his own channel out there. It's if you type in Harper Valentine, it's a bit of an alternative. London going around bikes and things. He could use a few subscribers, so if you do get the opportunity, guys, please do. But he's very alternative. He's not kind of standard truck driver guy. But yeah, the thing is, you know, Nick, I just sort of make the videos, don't I? Really, it's just me being me. Having said that, like I say, I'm a novice. I don't know about any of it, but a lot of very helpful advice, particularly. You're gonna have to apologise on this one. It's Gary McConaughey. Something like that. Yes, 3 really, you know, he says, don't pull the web. So, you know, when you pull down the clicks, like I said, he says, don't feed it through, that's a pain. He says, I assume what he's saying is get your hand behind it like that, get the clicky bit, and as you pull the click, tug. So just go, I've tried that. It comes out a bit, but it doesn't quite come out enough. And it's still a little bit fiddly to get the thing underneath, but I'll keep practicing. Maybe I'll get there in the end. He also says when you release the curtain on the strap at the end, because a lot of people say pull it and then pull the curtain from underneath, and there's a handle there, and you can use the handle. Yeah, there is a handle there. It's kind of useful, but I can just grab the pole, but still there. And also, but this is the big one. There will be an extra video on the back of, like, you know, how to open a curtain, what I've learnt part 2. He says don't open both curtains in high winds. Don't open both curtains at the same time. He said, I tried this once. He said, I thought I was never going to get the darn thing shut. So good advice, mate. This is why I love the channel. This is why hopefully what I do stops people making the mistakes that I made. And now I've got people stopping me making mistakes they made. So now I know if I'm there in high winds. And also you can do that bit where you clip the curtain underneath. Someone turned around and said, that's a good advice. He said, I found out the hard way when the pole smacked me on the head. Yeah, so when it's windy, you've got to be careful of things. It's like being on a ship, honestly. You know, I'm sure that he could go at quite big speed. Also, Mark Lachlan also said about the thing about, he said about something else, one of those hints. But he says, another really useful tip, because you know, I got the curtain, I got the side, and I sort of go like this, feed it one at a time. He said, if you grab the pole and you grab the middle strap, you can bring the whole thing back in one go. And I tried that the other day, and yeah, you're right, and that's going to be a nice little time saver. So once again, guys, thanks very much for your help. I really appreciate it. So. He also says, when you tighten the clips, when you're pulling down on the clip, do it a few times. He said that'll make it tighter. Thank you, mate. I shall practice all of these things. And eventually I'll do another little supplementary video, hopefully saying about you guys. And Danny Boy, he says that he always wears... He said that he was the guy who said good shit about, you know, strapping the pole down. He said he always wears gloves. One thing I have found about driving around in this 7.5 tonne, you don't have to get dirty. I don't know, my hands are filthy, my shorts are filthy, jumping in and out the back. And another thing I thought, because I'm in a truck, brilliant, no handball, it'll just be forked on, forked off. No, just more handball. I had one on Friday morning at the docks. That was like 1.5 tonne of copper piping. When I got there, the 4 guys turned up, in fairness, but we had to take these poles off like 1 or 2 at a time. They were going to the top of like 4 flights of stairs. I didn't take them to the top of 4 flights of stairs. I took them to the bottom of the stairs and went, there you go, lads. And the second one was this huge square pallet, all strapped in metal and some wood. I thought, well, that's definitely taken up by a fork truck. No, it went to a shopping centre in Kensington where I said, you got a fork truck? The guys went, no. Oh, now we're going to get this off then. He went, handball. We had to take the metal straps off. It was plywood, about that high. Strips of plywood, and I was in the back of the van pushing them off one at a time while the guys were on the other side bringing them in. So no, I haven't got away from handball. I was going to take my sack barrier off. No, that's definitely staying on. Oh well. Smart Bomb, he says, rather than all these curtains and things like that, he says he just wants one big zip. I'll tell you what I want, mate, a force field. I've seen Star Wars. I can't see why it's not happening. I just want to put it all on, press a button, and field comes around it. And that'll just stop it falling off. As long as the batteries are good, we'll be fine. Probably need force field and ratchet straps, although... No, don't even go there. Andrew Alsop says, thanks, Dave. Really useful. Andrew was the guy that I was on the CPC training with. Yeah, no problem, Andrew. The video channel is called Pete the Courier Driver. So, thanks, Dave. I feel like, what are we doing? A sort of trigger Rodney Trotter thing going on here? I don't know. So maybe I don't mind. Look a bit like Rodney, just not as thin. Nicholas says, you don't have any fork truck holes in your curtain. No, not as yet. And it is a worry, isn't it? And it's also a worry about, I haven't got any Stanley knife holes in my curtain right now, and please don't get any of them. And also, I haven't actually used any fork truck drivers, haven't used the back of it as brakes yet. Give it time. Sure it'll happen. Anyway, we did one about how to measure the van. Right, Steve Bradley says also, another little hint, he says measure between the wheel arches as well, because the wheels stick up. So you might have width across here, but not width across there and length across there. It's measuring everything. Tell you what I'm going to try. There's an app on the phone, an Android app, and you can just sort of go around it, and it tracks the inside of your van. I might give that one a bash. I'll see how that one pins out. I'm not so sure about that one. So we've done that. Right, miscellaneous. So like the miscellaneous. James Curtis says, after you drop the price on after you change the price on the CX, so say for it goes up from so you say there's going to be handball on the job, and so the price goes up from 150 to 175. Do they change the price? Say we'll see it on the CX. Yes, they should. Although you'll find that if the job gets cancelled, your £100 job gets cancelled, so you charge them a cancellation fee of £25. That £25 gets changed instantly. If your job goes up from like £150 to £175 because there was £25 worth of handball on, sometimes that can take a couple of hours. And I do sometimes wonder if they think, I'm just going to leave it and hope he shuts it down. My advice to that is don't shut the job down until the job's changed. It'll even disappear off the app. I might actually do a video about this. But yeah, I'll do a video about that. But yeah, the long and short is don't shut the job down until it's changed. We'll do a video on that one. Mohammed Atif, sorry mate. He says, I can't see how you can make money at 65p a mile on a small van. There are ways. I know a guy who made more money than me, Aaron, who used to work for us, actually made more money in one day than I did with a small van. I will do a video on it. Small vans, it's like a thing. It's not for everybody. There are advantages and disadvantages with running every different van on the CX. I personally prefer to drive bigger vehicles. The bigger the better. I've found that every vehicle I've upsized now, and someone said how much you're quoting. We'll come to that. But yeah, I will do a video on your small van thing. James Curtis, how do you get paid for jobs on the exchange? And then said, sorry, it's a stupid question. Really not a stupid question. Probably one of the most pertinent questions you want to ask. It's an invoicing thing. I will do a video. It's important. Because I can't believe I haven't done it before. Because hell, otherwise you're not doing this for nothing, are you really? But yeah, definitely not a stupid question, mate. I'd say probably one of the most important questions I've ever been asked. So there you go. Steve Campbell had a nightmare. He'd done a big list. If someone wants to read about it, things that we go through, there's some people or somebody was throwing like a pavement slab, a 2x2 pavement slab on a rope off of a bridge. It's in cars. I mean, I hope they catch him because that's attempted murder. If you're trying, what do you think's going to happen here? You're going to smash a car, attempted mass murder. I don't quite know what came of it, but that must have been incredibly scary. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. Hot Wheel Nation. How much are you bidding on a 7.5 tonne? Effectively, I would say 2/3 of what I was bidding on a Luton van, trying to get double. I will do a video on it, guys, on like what life is like in a 7.5 tonne and how much I'm getting, just to keep you informed, really. Yeah, hopefully it's going to work. Glue Eugen, he said he's in Peterborough. Any area, he says, is this an area, is a good area? I'm going to do a video on areas. I'm sure I kind of covered it before, but Alan always said this thing called the Ghost, and I'll do one on the Ghost, and I might even have to get a map. I might have to have like added, sort of, what do you call that? Where you actually bring in aids, The thing is, now I'm driving a 7.5 tonne. I said I was going to try and slow down these videos, and I do want to slow down on the videos. I didn't have time to do Saturday and Sunday Q&A a day, so it's all rolled into one. And I only did 3 videos this week because it's all rolled into one. But now I'm on the truck. You have to do work. You have to do like driving times, and every 4.5 hours, I have to have 3/4 an hour off, or at least half an hour off, even if I take a 15-minute break in between. So I might have more time to do the videos. I might have more time to like sort of process them on the computer in between. So if I can. I mean, I know I'm behind, but I'll do my best to catch up with you guys. And he also said, what is a reasonable price, to quote, on a short wheelbase or a minivan? I would say around 70p a mile. You might drop down to 60-50 if it happens to be going exactly the direction you're going home and you're in Newcastle and you're going back to Luton. You might want to drop down as low as you like. You might want to try and get 80, 90p, I mean, Alan's got £1 recently because he was in a Luton. He said, I'm going to bid him £1. They say yes or no. He was in a Luton, but it was a small van going south. Right man, right place, right time. I actually got £130 for a 100-mile journey on a Minivan 2 weeks ago when I was still in the Luton. And I rang the guy up, I went, this is too much money. He said, I don't care, I want it gone. So it's luck of the draw sometimes, but as a general rule of thumb, I'd say 70p. Ian McBride, he says, anyone who thinks that Pete is doing these videos for his own benefit is wrong. Thanks very much. Thank you, mate. I do try. Thanks for the kind words. Generally appreciate it. Things like this do help to keep me going, but I'm going to keep going anyway. So, but yeah, it is appreciated. Ian Williams, he said, re the ADR. Your ADR, it's to do with like transporting hazardous goods. If you do that, because you have to do every 5 years, if you're driving over 3.5 ton, you have to do CPC training, professional training. I've done a load of videos about this. He says, your ADR counts towards your CPC. So I'm going to look into that, because if I can do my ADR training and it counts the same as my CPC training, I'd rather do that. It's another string to my bow, but I will look in. Thanks for the heads up, mate. Cheers. Paul Davis, he says he's gone from a class 1 to a long wheelbase. I know a lot of people jump down from lorries into small vans. And I spoke to a guy about this, and I also know a guy who dropped from a small van into a lorry. And he said, because I thought it would be less aggravation. And he went, it's just different aggravation. The one thing I will say, the people that get the needle with the class 1 that drop onto the little courier vans tend to drop from driving for someone else in a lorry to dropping down to a small van for themselves. An argument could be made that if you drop down from driving for someone else in a lorry to driving for yourself in a smaller lorry, but I'm going to have to find that one out for you. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. Sean McKeely says, does he know how anyone knows how the speed awareness courses work on Zoom? I assume they work exactly the same way as the CPC training, that you just log in and there's a load of people. I will let you know this week, because on Thursday I'm on driving without due care and attention course, which came on the lockdown when I drove down the wrong way. I drove down the, I went in on the right-hand side of the road rather than the left-hand side of the road, because it's a particularly tricky junction, and it was a real pain to get the Luton round to get when I was doing my Argos deliveries, but I happened to do it in front of a police car, which is a really stupid thing to do, but I'll tell you all about that when I do the course. Hey, another course, lovely. Van on the Run says, because he said he used to do the Lola thing, he even knew what it stood for. He said, do you need training to operate it as well as having a certificate? Not as far as I know. You just need that Lola certificate. James, and someone turned around and said, I think it's just another tax. I was like, I've got to be honest with you, I don't know. It hasn't cost me a lot of money. It cost me like 60 quid to get his service, and the guy come up and he's greased it and he's oiled it and he's changed the hose, and I think for 60 quid every 6 months, I'd rather have that than like not do it and then have to replace the bushes because they weren't oiled properly, or be halfway through lifting up a ton pallet and the hose pops, and I'm like, what am I going to do now? So I think for 120 quid a year, I have spent more money on things that have been less useful. So I was exactly the same as you. I kind of thought the Lola thing was, oh, we don't need that, that's just a waste of time. And now I kind of changed my mind on it. As long as you ain't paying an arm and a leg. And if you need a guy in the Chiltern area, I've got a guy. Chris is brilliant, absolutely top man. So. James Taylor, he's done a link. He said those retractable straps you've got aren't fantastic. He's found a better one. It's down in the links, guys. I'll be honest with you, now I'm on a big motor. I don't tend to use them so much. I do use them. I use them to secure the sack barrier and to secure the box that's got the big straps in, because you can get done for that. If you've got a box with straps in and you haven't strapped the straps down, then you can get done because that box is free. So. Steve Campbell has a link that shows that 7.5 trucks can use the outside lane. I'm sure they probably can. Having said that, I am now restricted to 56 miles an hour. I try to be, what do you call it? I try to be considerate when it comes down to what we call elephant racing. There'll be a video on that. There's got to be a video on everything. I haven't got to fit this like, I don't know. Record says, should he said he's starting up, he's just done a load of money. Should he go for the pro package or the starter package? How important are live maps? Well, you get live maps. You get live You get live updates, live. The jobs are posted live with the starter. Mate, if I was you, I'd go with the starter. £600 for one, £1,200 for the other. Just go with the starter. Get the hang of it. Further on down the line, if I was you, I'd go with the starter. I haven't got the Pro. I've got small fleet. I've got something different because we've got fleet. I never used to have. I just started. I was the owner driver map. Go with that, and then maybe after 6 months or so, you might have things that you think, just going to make an inquiry here. What's the difference between the two? But personally, if you want my advice, I think the starter one is fine. Yorkshireman's Daily Grind. He used to run tippers, 30-ton trippers, the old skip lorries and all that, I presume skip lorries and all that kind of stuff. His advice, he said, look after your AdBlue. He said, if that AdBlue goes, it can cause you all kinds of problems. Thank you, mate. I plan on looking after everything on this motor. I'm going to look after Alice. Hopefully she'll look after me. So, and Steve Bradley, them things about the videos between the videos I would have to get into. Sorry, guys. And Tim Jones says, why didn't the seller who was, he's the one who said a lot is another tax. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm going to stick with it. Well, also, having that sticker on your box is nice because if the ministry do pull you, they're going to walk around and go, oh, that tail lift is up to date. Oh, that sticker's up to date. Have you got a certificate for the tacho? There it is. It was done 2 weeks ago. It's like, okay, this guy's serious about looking after his motor. Well, they're going to look at you much more favourably than, oh, what's that? Don't know. Oh, I think it was done. If you're on top of it and you've got the dates, it's going to stand in your favour. Why didn't the guy who sold me the trucks service the tail lift? He didn't have to. There's a possibility he could have serviced the tail lift and I could have got the truck and I might never ever used it. I might have just been Pallet Network or something like that, on and off with fork trucks all the way through. Having said that, the guys who sold me the van said it was MOT prepped and ready, and it was MOT and prepped and ready. It was sailed straight through. A very nice firm up in Birmingham. I will certainly use them again. Can't remember their names, but if it comes down to it, I would certainly use them again. I'm very pleased with my lorry. Finally, we've got the conclusions here somewhere. Where did I write that down? Thought we did it. There it is. The final conclusions is, yes, thanks very much to Dave Tutt. It was Handball and Jemima were play school. They were the dolls in play school. Bob Keane apparently doesn't refer to it as handball. It is Handball and Jemima. Might start using that myself. And Danny Richardson says, in true, inimitable Roy Chubby Brown style, it was Smokey and who is Alice? Well, now you know. It's the big blue and white thing that I sit in Monday to Friday. I'm up to Leeds. I've got to pick up in Leighton Buzzard at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going up to Leeds, and then hopefully I've bid on a return job, but I'm hoping they're going to give me it because I'm not sure I can get it in time because we're out of 7.5 tonne now, and we're going to find out whether we can. Take care, take money. Have a good Sunday, guys. Take care.